What up? So, had to hold off a little bit because despite all the blue skies and the sunshine, it was raining its face off earlier, so it wasn't about that life. I'm not trying to be all wet at work. Not fun. Oh, Wednesday. Missed out on my stream last night. I was at work till 12:30 this morning. Got home, got in bed, woke up, back on the clock at 8. So, yeah, that's how that life goes, but it's all good. Probably going to play some more Final Fantasy 14 tonight. New patch went live, cross-server parties. As long as you're on the same data center, I'm into it, man. That's going to be pretty sweet. Looking forward to getting some more Heaven's Word completed. Tomorrow night, I think I'm going to be doing some co-streaming with some cats playing some Battlefield 1 on the PS4, so be sure to come through for that. It's going to be a good time. Yeah. I'm excited, man. New patch for what you call looks sweet. Stormblood comes in June, so that's going to be pretty dope. Can't wait for that. New classes, new stuff. I mean, shit, I still got to play all the new classes for Heaven's Word. I barely touched the the Dark Knight, so there's that. Hey, Aslan, what's up? So, yeah, I'm excited about that. Hopefully we'll get concrete. Yo, Base B, what's good, man? Hopefully we'll get some concrete on Destiny 2. Looking forward to that. So, you know the work thing, man. What's good? A whole lot of nothing today, brother. Just flapping gums. Nothing too crazy. Still kind of tired from working late last night. Pulled a base B, worked a double. So, I don't know. We can talk about whatever. What do y'all want to talk about? Anything fun? Got any questions? Got something I should talk about? I'm always open to suggestions. It's all good. Talk about how the Nintendo Switch is coming out. No Monster Hunter on that junk. Where's that? The youth and why they trash, man. Because somebody failed their ass, that's why. There we go. Yeah, I was in probably a dead spot earlier. Part of the reason. Yeah, that's a nuanced conversation. Lots of things happen there where, So, I don't know. Too many variables for the kids thing. But the Switch, yeah, I don't know. I'll say this. I don't understand all this, like, out the gate Switch hate. I don't understand that mess. It's crazy. Like, yeah, but that's been a Nintendo. That's not new for Nintendo. Gimmicky controllers and first party everything. Yeah, that's a Nintendo thing. So I'm not surprised there. Two things. Monster Hunter has been riding really high. The franchise has been real high this year with generations and stories. And there's the anime, and then the new generations, blah, 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 whatever. For whatever reason, Monster Hunter has been real hyped this year. So I can't believe there's not a Monster Hunter title already announced. Maybe not a launch title, but, a year one title anyway. 2, no Smash. Let's be real. Love or hate Smash, it's really been a main vein for... Right. Smash has been a main vein release for the Nintendo console since the Nintendo 64. Smash Bros. Came out on the 64, and it's like, oh, this will be fun. We'll put all our IPs together in one game and have them duke it out. That'll be fun. And it was a blast. And they were like, oh. And then Smash Bros. Melee comes out, and boom, son, sets the market on fire and introduces a whole new legion of people to the fighting game community in a way that they hadn't been around before, because a lot of those cats, you either play Smash. Buy it, I'll talk. But you'll buy it, play it for a month, and then sell it, just like you do all your other consoles on the real. And then you'll talk trash about it. It's okay. But I don't know, man. It's like, how do you not have a Smash title at launch or year one, and you'll have a Monster Hunter with as hot as Monster Hunter's been? I'm curious to know, and I guess we'll find this out later. Here's my real question: is how much of the handheld market is the Switch taking over? Are we getting another Nintendo DS? Fire Emblem's going to be sweet. That looks pretty good. The new Mario looks cool. The new Zelda looks fantastic. So, it's like, Monster Hunter's pretty fun, man. But it's like, it ain't for everybody. That's for sure. Monster Hunter is not for everybody. You got to have... It is for certain types of people, but it has been gaining a lot of popularity lately. So, there's that. But if you've played, like, games like, Ragnarok Odyssey, or, what's the, God Eater, or, what was not Phantasy Star Portable. There was another one that was a Monster Hunter clone. Freedom Wars was on the Vita. That was a Monster Hunter clone. If you played those games, then you'd probably like a Monster Hunter game. It's not, you're not playing a game for the story. It's a game for the challenge and for the hunting and the collecting and stuff like that. Like, it's all very, like, Monster Hunter is a self-driven game. Like, you have to set the goals for yourself, because the game doesn't really do it for you. It just presents you with challenges, and then you set the goals. So, and hunting with friends is fun. In that one, I have Generations on 3DS. I still play it from time to time. Not as much as like B does and some other cats do, but I play it. I play it when I'm chilling. It's fun. Yo, Hutch, what's up, man? I didn't mind God Eater so much. It had a cool story, so it was fun to play it. It just was like, it didn't feel the same. I guess there's something about, like, it's easier to farm the lower tier armors in Monster Hunter, so you get this more immediate sense of reward for, like, killing these monsters and then carving them up and creating armor and weapons out of them, and then it kind of becomes this, hey, there you go. It feels like this, like, there's a ramped kind of difficulty to it, like Azuros, right? The big armored bear dude. You hunt him down, you wear his gear, it looks cool. He's not very hard. You can do it pretty early on in the game. Tetsukabra the same way. You can hunt him down relatively early in the game, get his cool looking armor, makes you look badass. But then it's like, you want to go get the Zenogre armor, or the Devil Joe armor and stuff like that. Like, okay, that's going to take a while, but it's increased. Like, okay, it's way later in the game, so you're expecting it to take you longer to do it. Whereas playing God Eater, it just feels like at the gate everything takes, forever to farm materials to make your stuff. So, there's that. But I don't know. Switch will do. If they announce a Smash, it'll do well. It will carry the system, if nothing else will. Not saying it'll be the only popular game, but if the system starts to falter, Smash will carry it. Especially with the, its obvious popularity in the fighting game community at events like CEO and Evo, and Xanadu holds a weekly thing of like 100 and some people, and they got what's the CFL one that GDX is at? Polarity. Stuff like that. I mean, it's obviously got tons of popularity, so Nintendo is smart. Oh yeah. So there we go, block that big old bright sunblock out there. Yeah. Yes. True. Well, but you know what though? A lot of people were saying that about 4, about Smash Wii U when it came out, and how this game's blah blah blah, da 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 da, and how it was trash and they hated it and all these things. And then over time, people just grew accustomed to it, and it's almost as popular as Melee is. People reason like Melee so much is because it's broken and you can't fix it. It's on a console that existed pre-patch updates and things like that. It's on the GameCube, where that's it. The game you bought is the game you got, and that's it. Whereas on the Wii U, they did balance patches like a true fighting game, to make sure that the game remained competitive when people spent countless hours in the lab devising these strategies, utilizing broken components of the game. So, where Melee has all the crazy shit that you can do in Melee that will always be there, all the broke stuff about 4 kept getting patched out. And I think the more Nintendo stayed on top of it and maintained a competitive balance for the game, the more people liked it. So, it became less and less, this Smash 4 is for plebs and blah, 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 blah. And the hardcores will play what they play regardless, and there's nothing that you could ever do to appease them. So there's that. I think Master Joe said it best during his stream last night when I asked him about it, and he said, best case scenario, he sees a Wii U port over to the Switch. Which honestly, that may be the best case. You bring it over to the Switch, the same game over to the Switch, and maybe you add like some of the ARMS characters, right? You patch in, Breath of the Wild Link or Breath of the Wild Zelda once they come out. Stuff like that. I don't think that you have to build a whole new Smash from the ground up anymore. Treat it like a MOBA. Treat it like Smite or like League, The game doesn't get released. They just keep adding characters to it. So, you're looking at a freaking super crazy port. I mean, a super crazy roster of characters. They might as well port with all the... Yeah, right. And I mean, same. So pay for it, you get all the stuff, and then they just keep adding more to it. More stages, more characters, all these things that are coming with the new games that are going to be on... Damn, I got to get back in here. They're going to be on the Switch, and you just utilize that, and you keep adding to it. No sense in starting a new game. Treat it like the way PC games do. Anyway, look, I got to get back into work. I'm going to be late. Thanks for hanging, everybody. I'll be live later this afternoon, so catch me then. Paddle mode is something. Yeah. So, peace, everybody.